Okay, so here I have just an old table that we didn't need in a storage room, so it's nothing glamorous at all. These are the products that I've acquired. I've had them forever. About, gosh, I've been framing for probably about 17 years. So once you buy the products, you have them forever. I noticed that because I had to get some more tape. These are things you need. It's a Scotch ATG 700. You can get this on Uline. They also sell the tape. It's a double stick tape. I'll go over what you do with this. You also need the stickies that go on the back. You also need some dust remover. You can purchase a lot of these gloves just so you don't get fingerprints on the images. You'll also need scissors, a edger, pencils to mark off on the back where you're going to puncture the hole. This is a specific product. I don't even know the name of it, but it has very sharp blade here that I have to replace quite often, so buy a bunch of replacements. And it fits exactly like 1/4 inch to the edge of the frame, so it cuts the paper off on the backing, and I'll explain that. The other thing you need are these are awesome crescent wire cutters, and they're also the pinchers, which you have to pinch the wire together. You'll need a small hammer, both kind of screwdrivers, tape measure, and then this is imperative also. It's called a Fletcher, and this puts staples right into the side of the frame. Then you're also going to need wire. I just went for the heavy duty stuff because for the really large frames, like my large frames are like 36 inches on the long side, and a 3.5 inch wood frame can get pretty heavy, so you want to make sure it's not going to fall off the wall. It is a coated wire. And then this you get at Michael's, and it's about $4. It is Studio Decor. It will clean all your acrylic or glass with absolutely no streaks. It's amazing. Okay, there we go. I'm going to try to do this really quick. I got a small frame here to show you easily. So my pictures come to me. I use a variety of labs depending on what I want. Again, I've seen all the labs at the trade shows, and I choose the products that I like. The first thing I always do is sign it, and I use a gold pen. These pens are awesome. I've had a lot of pens in the days, and this is a Faber-Castell. Faber-Castell. It's a gold 250, and I also have it in silver for the black and whites. So it's really important that an artist always signs their work. I have never ever had a person complain. I think people see that you take pride in it and want to know who did the work. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the frame. This is one of my favorite frames from Real Framing. Can't tell you which one it is right now because I don't have the number on it, but it's been real popular with that. There's no red in this brown at all. Really neutral, just nice dark espresso with some nice edges here for detail, and some distressing, and a nice stain. It's probably a pine, but solid wood. So they always come with corner that I usually kind of leave these underneath it for a little bit. Just watch out for those staples. Okay. So when the staple stays in, just take it out with this, put it in my trash can. Okay, I'm gonna try to. So you're probably wondering why I don't have glass, and I don't do glass because on the large prints with the large frames, because I feel like they're really substantial. And if you go to any art galleries, all the paintings didn't have glass either, and so they just kind of pop out at you. The luster coating protects this. I tell people don't put it in direct light because no matter what, sun just beaming in on something just drains the color of it. So, all right, so you just push this up to the edge. You give it a click. I do a bunch of them so that there's no possible bowing. Definitely up in the corners, you want to go really tight. This family wall collection is accompanied by the 20 by 24 family print, and then the kids on one side and the parents on the other. So, looks like this. Okay, so then this is all backed. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not moving. And then the next thing I have to do is back it. So this is the trickiest part. And I'm just gonna take this one out. Okay. This thing has been giving me a hard time, so we'll see if it's working right now. It hasn't been stopping right. Okay, so you just put it down. The hard part is weaving the tape through this. Okay, it's coming out. I see it. Okay, I'm just gonna roll it down along the edge. This is what's gonna make the craft paper stick. Yeah, see how it's still rolling? I might have to put a new roll of tape in here because I don't think I did this one properly. I don't know if you can see this, but a thin film comes out, but it's giving me a hard time. You squeeze and it rolls out, and you let go and it should release, but it's still coming out. So I'm just gonna save this and put it right here and run it down. And then I'm gonna do one at the top here. All right, the four corners are good. Put this back. So then this is the other part here. So I got this off of Uline. This is the 48 inch, this is the 36. This craft paper I have definitely had for at least 10 years. It lasts a long time. So I'll probably have this for another 10 because I just bought it. I wanted to upgrade my backing to black. They didn't have this before when I bought it, but it's just a very clean, classic backing. So I just take a piece that's going to be wide enough to cover the... Okay. Then I'm going to guesstimate, pull it over, put it on the top here. And press it down. And then I just want to find the edge of the frame here, so I'm just going around really tightly. I feel like I'm doing this at warp speed so you guys aren't too bored. Then I take my fancy cutter. Okay, so this is the only tricky part, and it takes some practice, is you actually have to put pressure where this meets this. How can I show you this? Like that. Okay, see that? And then you gotta really push this blue side against the wood to cut. So right now, I'm gonna really push against it. I have a nice sharp blade, so it's cutting beautifully, and boom, it's off. So then I go over to this side. Ta-da. This I can use for the other one. And then I just got two more, and then I can show you how to put the wiring in. Okay, last side. Okay, push. All right. Making a mess. Okay, back. So now I'm gonna look and make sure that I have the heads up. Very important. Take these down. All right, so now what this frame, I put the brackets. See, I have two here. Okay, I put them at about 1/3 from the top. So if I just measure this, it's 20. So let's say I'll just do 6.5. Well, it's 19.5. And it's not an exact thing. You just have to make it consistent on both sides. So this frame's about 3 inches. So I'm gonna mark it with my pencil. So 6.5 is right here. And then I feel like I'm pretty much, no, I'm not in the center. So then I'm gonna do 1.5 inches over, and I'm gonna put a little X there. I take this, so there's two different sides to it. There's a bump side and a flat side. You gotta make sure you put the flat side down. Look for your little X mark. And then you get the screw. I should have got that out beforehand. And then because these are made for framing, they don't go too far. So you're not gonna go through the frame, and they go in really smoothly. It's not hard at all. The only tricky part is giving enough pressure down on the screw so that it's, like that screw looks larger than the other ones. Okay, and then you just have to push down nice and flat and tight. There. Okay, then I'm gonna do this one. So I said 6.5 and 1.5 over. I do the first dot just to kind of know where 6.5 is, and then I go over this side and I put the actual X where 1.5 is. And then I know which one is the measurement I need for this. Put that over. And then I have some random screws laying around right there. And I'm gonna put this right in here. And then I'll show you how I wire it. Put the nubs on the back. I also have a little certificate of authenticity that I had printed through, I think it was through Moo. And, but a lot of labs have stickers, but I just got like, you know, 500 stickers, and I sign it and I date it because I guarantee all my work. If there's any problem, the trick is if I still have the files, but I never get rid of them, so I have everyone's files that I can replace it for them if there's ever something faulty, but I haven't had that happen except for one situation where someone's kid used a water gun on their portrait. Okay, so I'm going to do a knot here, and then I take the wire, and all you do is twist. Okay, so you just twist it around, and that's just going to give it a lot of tightness here. And then at the very end, I just kind of weave it through back down, make the knot again, and then I'm going to clamp it and tighten it off with this. So I'm just going to flatten it out so it's not bumpy and there's no sharp edges poking anyone. This does feel like it doesn't want to wrap around, but then if you squash it, okay. And how I learned was someone was in the framing business and was getting out and actually was nice enough to come over to my home studio and teach me how to do it. Just a really kind person. So that was really nice. And I go on the outside and I go through back. I don't come under and go over. Just for some extra, I think I made this one a little short. I don't usually do that. Okay. Talking and being videotaped is a little different. And then go back through and tighten it up. Okay. Give it a pinch. Okay, so this is nice and tight. Gives people the ability to kind of hang it on a hook and move it around to get it flat. And then on the back,